So we're here in Amsterdam today with our partners at Avalon River Cruises. You can see the Avalon Impression is just pulling up right behind me. We're getting ready to get on board to do some filming and take some pictures so that you can see everything that you need to know about all the room categories and types. I'll give my feedback on it. Also the public areas, the excursions, just about everything you need to know about going on an Avalon Waterways river cruise. So I'll see you on board. All right, so we're here in the main foyer, which is right when you walk on board the ship. This is what you're gonna see, beautiful chandelier. I also love that they have this open to the roof so you can see a lot of beautiful natural light in here. Okay, and if you follow me over to the main purser's desk, these ladies take care of everything to do with money on board the ship. They're gonna take care of your accounts and also any special requests and things like that. Okay. And as we move further into the ship, we're gonna go to a small lounge and then also the cruise director's desk. So our cruise director is Robert. He's in charge of everything to do essentially with a passenger experience on board the Avalon Suite ship. Okay, so he's gonna handle the excursions, he's gonna take care of any emergencies and handle things like that. Basically, he's there and he's got your back throughout the entire experience. Now we're in the lounge on board, which is the central hub for the ship itself. So it's where anytime they need to get everybody together, this is the place where it would be. So primarily in the afternoons and evenings, it's where they're gonna do the briefing for the next day. It's also where all the entertainments can happen on board. So you've got the bar behind me, they've got happy hour every single day, there's a dance floor, you got a piano, so there's a musician on board every evening, and then they also bring on some other guests and things like that. But just in general, it's the place where everybody gets together to congregate, to meet, to relax, and as you can see with these beautiful windows on either side, it's usually the place where people are when we're cruising through the scenic areas like the Rhine Valley, and then you can head up on top and then come back down as you like. So the lounge is the place where everybody gets together on board the ship. It's where all the briefings are, and it is a place I think you'll come to love when you're on board the Avalon Impression. So if you step just outside the main lounge, what you have is a beautiful 180-degree panoramic open-air seating lounge. So this is the perfect place to step outside and snap a photo. It's also a great place to get together with friends. Because it's attached to the main lounge, you have bar and coffee service here as well. So one of the unique things that you have on board an Avalon Suite ship is the Panorama Bistro, which is on the top deck. What you can see is you got a nice overhang here, which of course comes down and collapses. But this is the best part. This is a giant barbecue. So on beautiful sunny days, instead of having lunch down in the main dining room, they bring lunch up to the top and they barbecue for you. It's a great experience, having a nice beer, watching the world go by as you cruise. So I'm gonna head on out to the front. As we go past, we'll go past the bridge. Like with every bridge on board river cruises, this is on a hydraulic system, so it can go up and down if we're on low bridges. And same thing with everything on the top deck. All the rails, everything will fold flat in that case. So up front here, you have a great seating area. It's a great place to be when you're cruising. I love to be up here, especially when you're going through the locks. It's such an interactive experience because it's on both sides, it's so close, and it's a really cool thing to do. And as you follow me along, you'll see they have an assortment of bench seats, individual seats, which is great. And then over there, you have one of my favorite features on the Avalon ships, and that's bicycles. So these are bikes that you can borrow anytime that you'd like. The staff will help get them ready for you, get your helmet on, get the bike adjusted, and then you can take them out into the city. And then they also, of course, have bike tours throughout the cruises that you could opt into if you're interested as well. So just above the Sky Grill, you have the Jacuzzi hot tub. It's the perfect place to relax after any day of river cruising. Another feature that you'll find on board an Avalon Suite ship is this giant skylight, which I really, really love because it opens up the entire lobby to the light that's coming down from above. You can see the beautiful chandelier down there as well. So also on the top deck, you have the sun loungers, the walking deck, and all the shade areas where you can hang out. And then in the very, very back, they also have a chessboard and some more seating areas. One of the cool features about all the sun loungers on board the ship is that they all have a shade feature as well. So as you just pull it up, even if you don't get that seat that's under the shaded part, you still have the ability to provide your own. So this is where you're probably gonna find me as we're sailing through the Rhine Gorge. So here we are in the main dining room on board. A couple of things that I really love about this space are one, the open panoramic windows. It's a lot brighter than most river cruise dining rooms would be. And the other reason behind that is they've opened up the middle of it so that you have the ability to have the light come all the way through. So when you sit down here for breakfast and lunch, what you're gonna have is a buffet with the ability to also order off of a menu. And then for dinner, you have a sit-down multi-course affair. One of the things I love about Avalon is their Avalon Fresh initiative, where they've gone out of their way to make sure that they provision the ship daily with fresh food, fruits, vegetables, breads, and things like that from the local area so that you get that mix on board. So the excursions are one of the most important parts of any river cruise. In fact, it's why people river cruise. We're docked in Amsterdam right now. The Jordan is just about a block this way. And so this morning I was just gonna talk about how to pick your excursion. So on Avalon, you don't really have to pre-reserve all your excursions. We do recommend that you pre-purchase the ones that are optional, that you know for sure in the first couple of days of the cruise that you wanna go on. But once you get on board, you can usually change, even the night before. So in the morning, when you come down the stairs, it's really straightforward. You just pick which bus you want to be on. So this morning there's only one tour option, so you just pick the bus that all your friends are on, or whichever one you want to go. So this morning I'm on the pink bus. This is the whole process, right? You've got the headset. Your guide will have the same color headset, which will allow them to sync up, and you can listen to them on the Whisper headsets right here. So they'll provide a headset for you, or you can bring your own. It's something that I highly recommend. That's the entire process. Grab a bottle of water, because they always provide those complimentary. Head on out the door. I always grab an umbrella because I know for sure if I have an umbrella, it's not gonna rain. So here's my umbrella. And when I walk out the door here, I'm actually right in Amsterdam. So it's the perfect thing. So when we start the Amsterdam tour, literally you're here. So I can see the main train station down the way, and the Jordan is just behind these buildings. So that's pretty much all you need to know about a river cruise excursion, but it's a really, really straightforward and simple thing. So much better than on a big ocean ship where you have to kind of pre-reserve, lock everything in way in advance. That's one of the big advantages of a river cruise. So here we are, walking off the ship. We're in Amsterdam, ready to go. So I'm just heading back on board the ship, and one of the things I love is how they greet you. So the first thing that they always do is greet you with a nice warm towel, especially if it's cool outside. It could be a cool towel if it's in the summer as well, which is really, really nice. Oh, love it. All right, and then of course a nice warm tea. There we go. So now I'm back home. So there is an elevator on board, which is great. It does not go to the top of the sun deck, which is normal on virtually all river cruise ships, but it does get you between the passenger deck. So if you're somebody who the stairs is a little intimidating for, might be a perfect thing for you. So now we're in the gym. It's not a huge space, but it is a unique space on board a river cruise ship in general. They've got a great treadmill, some bikes, some free weights. So if you are an athlete or you're somebody who wants to make sure that you keep up what you're doing at home on board, this is the perfect place for that. Also, they have the stretchy bands and things, so you can also take this upstairs. There's a great walking track on the top deck as well. So I just finished breakfast and heading to one of my favorite spots on the ship, the Club Lounge in the back. It's something that I love about Avalon that none of their competitors actually have. So we're gonna head all the way back on deck 3. So this is the top deck, top passenger deck, and all the way back is the Club Lounge. So we're gonna head on back. Most all the passengers are off the ship right now because there's a tour going on, and so they're of course making up the rooms. And they'll be all set by the time everybody gets back before lunch after the tour today. One of the really fun things that I love about Avalon is that they have 2 color towels. I don't know if you guys can see that, it's kind of fun, but they got brown and white, so you know whose is whose in the room each time. It took me a minute to figure that out, but when they explained it to me, it's kind of genius. Very cool. So one of my favorite spots on board any Avalon Suite ship is the Club Lounge in the back of the ship. So we're at deck 3 all the way aft. And what I love about it is it's a space that most of the other cruise lines actually don't have. So for example, Viking puts 2 huge suites here. Avalon Waterways puts their chef's table, which is wonderful as well. But the thing I love about this is it gives passengers more room to spread out. They have less passengers than their competitors as well. So I never felt crowded on my 14-day Avalon trip that I did recently. And just being on the ship again, I've noticed the exact same thing. So it's the perfect place to grab a seat, read a book, read your morning newspaper. They have those provided every single day. You can sit out on the back of the ship, which is one of my favorite places to be. I love the view of the wake. That's something I've loved on any ship. Also, it's a great place to get a coffee. They've got the coffee station over here. Overall, it's just a separate space to kind of let people spread out and find their own space on board a ship, which I think is critical. And I think it's a wonderful addition to the Avalon Impression. So just behind the Club Lounge that we were just talking about is this little deck area out back that's my favorite spot on board, actually. I love to sit outside and look at the wake and take in Europe as we go by it. You've got a beautiful windbreak because the ship's in front of us, and it's just a very peaceful and relaxing place to be with the sound of the motors and the sound of the wake kicking up behind us. So if you're looking for me on board the Avalon Impression, here's where I'll be having a nice coffee.